mobility. We're starting right now. So let's get to it. Ooh, it is Friday night. Oh, and we're getting ready to move a little bit better. So thank you for being here. And let's get ready to move. We're going to get started with our hip cars. All right. CAR stands for controlled articulated rotations. And these are all about moving your leg through some crazy range of motion so that you get stronger and you get more mobile all at the same time. I am going to make sure I get some of these things out of the way so I don't trip. I'm rearranging some of the things in the room. So this big chunk of foam is going to be here for a little bit. Cool? All right, let's go. Hip cars, high knee. We're going to open up the leg directly to the side after that. Then we're going to rotate the ankle up so that the ankle and the knee are the same height. Then we're going to keep rotating, bring the knee down, lift the ankle up as high as you can. Then we're going to finish by bringing the leg down and back. When the leg is down and back, I want you to flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch in the front of that hip flexor. That is 1 rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side, and it's time to begin. Let's go, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 2, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 3, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 5, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6. Keep going, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8. 2 more, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew. Whew. Those are some hip cars. Our first round on the left side. Do a little shake, do a little wiggle, do a little dance, and let's get ready to continue on the other side. Keep that core nice and tight, stay nice and strong, and let's go, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee. Open. Oh, I'm off balance. Ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. Whew. That is 10 reps of hip cars on both legs going forward. Check it out. Do a little relaxation, floppy, 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 and let's get ready to go in reverse. All right. When we go in reverse, all the main movements are about the same, but I want you to do them backwards. Let's cover what that looks like. We're going to go bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch right here in the front. We're going to lift that leg up to the side and try and get the knee and ankle pretty close to horizontal. Then we're going to rotate the knee down, lift the ankle up, rotate the ankle down, lift the knee up, and then bring that knee over in front. That's 1. We're going to do 10 of those on the left, 10 of those on the right, and we'll be done with our first warm-up exercise, the hip cars. Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. If you're feeling off balance, feel free to grab something, hold on to something so that you don't have to figure out how to just barely stay upright while you're also trying to figure out how to move your legs. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. If you're a regular, you've been on the show for a little bit, I want you to keep on trying to lift your leg a little bit higher, to rotate a little bit deeper, and I want you to try your best to keep your standing leg really straight. I think that's 5 or 6. Pretend it's 6. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. I'm off balance. There we go. 8, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 9. Last one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Oh, my hips are tired. Okay. If your legs are feeling quite tired, either the leg that was doing all the work trying to keep you stable, or the leg that was rotating and doing all the crazy shenanigans, that is completely normal. We got one last hip car to go. Shake out your legs, get a little bit of relaxation, and breathe. Let's go. Stand up nice and tall. Keep that core nice and tight. And back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back. I'm off balance. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Whew. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. 3 more. Back. Side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back. Side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's 9. Last one. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Lift that leg high. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down and knee. Whew. That is our hip curls. Going forward, going back, all the sides, all that stuff. We're done with the first warm-up exercise. We're gonna move on into our second warm-up exercise. It's gonna be a lot more chill than the hip curls. We're gonna do some elephant walks. All right. I want you to slowly fold at your hips. Come on down. Oh, relax. If you have a tight low back, it's complaining a little bit, just chill. You don't have to put any pressure into this. Just relax. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. For most of us, just chilling here for a little bit will let the low back muscles relax and stop tensing so hard. And when you first bend forward, that tension will be like, "What are you doing?" But once you've hung out here for a little bit, it should chill out a little and make it easier for you to focus on your hamstrings, because that's what the elephant walk is all about. What we're going to do next is we're going to bend one leg, we're going to straighten out the other, we're going to keep on trying to fold our belly buttons down a little deeper into the ground. We're going to switch back and forth. Right? So left leg is now bent, right leg is straight. We're going to switch. Right leg is bent, left leg is straight, and keep going. Keep switching. Take your time. This does not have to be explosive. It does not have to be fast. Just keep on moving. Put a little bit of action into those muscles and keep going. There isn't an exact number that we're trying to hit. I'm just going to talk about some random stuff until we are out of words, and then we'll move on to something else. All right. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. to build consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we keep on putting ourselves through a little bit more fun. All right. And if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you need to work on that consistency, you want a little bit of help with that too, make sure to hit follow, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to keep coming back. All right, we've been doing this for a while, so let's really focus on getting a little bit deeper. All right, fold the belly button down, just a little bit more, and then just a little bit more. 5 more. Ready? Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a little bit of a squat. Come on back into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. Whew, shake out your legs, flop your arms around, get loose, do a little wiggle, and let's get into warm-up exercise number 3. For number 3, we're working on some thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine, or the T-spine, is basically under your neck, approximately about your belly button-ish. It is designed to move, twist, bend, and of course, slouch, which I'm sure we all know a lot about. What we're going to do is add some thoracic rotation, some twisting, all right? And we're going to do it from the foundation that we just built with that forward fold that we're just doing. All right. We're going to bend one leg, straighten out the other. We're going to fold this belly button down to the ground. From here, we're going to take the bent leg, that side's arm. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that shin. We're going to help rotate and open up our chest. Look at the hand. Stick that hand up into the air if you can. Rotate the head. Look at that hand. And I want you to take a small breath in first. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Once you're comfortable here, we're going to reach a little further back. All right. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, reach. Woo, that is half a rep. We're going to do the other side. We're folded forward. One leg is bent. One leg is straight. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that shin. We're opening up the arm. We're looking at the hand. We're inhaling. Exhaling and reaching. That is our first rep. All right, we're going to do 5 of these in total. So we got 4 more to go. Let's walk it through one last time. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Stick your hand straight up. Neck is rotated. Look at that hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That's 2. Other side. 2. Make sure that you are breathing and exhaling when you get into that reaching position. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Reach. That's 3. Keep going. The reason why the exhale is super important is because when you have a whole bunch of air in your chest, you're like a full soda can. It doesn't really get crushed, right? When you let the air out, when you pop the lid of the can, you can start crushing the can, right? What we want is basically to crush the can, except it's not a very good analogy for your spine and chest. But that crushing is what we want. All right. Moving on. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Inhale, exhale, reach. That's 4. And 4. Other side. Let's wrap things up. We're going for number 5. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Inhale, exhale, reach. That's 5. And 5. Whew. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. Maybe some of those muscles in your back are going, ooh, and you're not feeling super comfortable just yet. Try to add a little wiggle, try to add a little shake, try to do a little bit of movement, try to do some body rolls, have fun with it, and take ownership of that mobility you got in your spine. All right, it's designed to move. Let it move. We're gonna move on into our 4th and final warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch, and it looks a little bit like this. You don't have to join in right away. I'm gonna demonstrate it, and then we're gonna pre-warm up for the warm-up. I know it sounds crazy, but don't worry about it. Legs are gonna be wide. We're gonna drop into a deep squat on one side, and the other side is gonna be basically doing a side split. All right. We're gonna scoop our butts over to the other side. We're gonna pause here for a second, and we're gonna come on back. That is 1 rep. They're going left and they're coming back. All right. For most of us, our knees or ankles or hips are not gonna be ready for that. So everybody, if you're standing, let's pop into a little bit of a squat and pre-warm up for that movement. Whew. Squat down, chill. Most of us will find that our heels are up a little bit. That's perfectly fine for what we're doing right now. All right. It's going to help you really feel that stretch in your Achilles tendon. It's going to help you feel that stretch in the calf muscle. I want you to bring your chest down to your knees. I want you to almost hug yourself into a little cannonball like you're jumping into a swimming pool. And breathe. Chill for a second. Once you hang here for a little bit, you're feeling comfortable, you're feeling that intense calf stretch, we're going to add a little bit of movement, right? We always want to add a little bit of movement so that you have ownership, you have control over a new position that you get into. And in this case, what we're going to try our best to do is bring a knee down. If you can slowly, in a controlled way, bring it to the ground, amazing. Bring it back up. Try to stay balanced. Bring it to the ground. Bring it back up. Your hips might rotate. That's totally fine. Just focus on doing whatever it takes to bring your legs down. If you are going and then you suddenly lose control, all of a sudden your knee is smashing into the ground and it's starting to hurt, That is a reason not to go so deep. All right. As long as you have control, keep going. If you're losing control, slow it down. Don't go as deep. Build up to that at some other point. Doesn't have to happen today. Cool? All right. Next, we're going to put one leg out to the side. We're going to bring it back in. We're going to bring the other leg out and bring it back in. We're going to bring them out at the same time. We're going to pose. We're going to look cool, and then we're going to bring it back in. Next, we're going to get into the real stuff. It's time to get into some Cossack switches. Okay? I'm going to try and get rid of this thing over here, and that seemed to work really well. Cool. And now I won't step on it with like half a footprint. All right. We're dropping down into a deep squat on one side and a side split looking thing on the other side. All right. Get as low as you can. You've been practicing the low squat this whole time, so it shouldn't be too bad. From here, put your hands down. We're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. All right. If you're a little bit higher up and you haven't gotten so deep to the floor, you're like way up here, feel free to skip the hands part and just move on over. All right. If you happen to be somewhere in the middle, feel free to grab a stool, a coffee table, something to give yourself a little bit of support to help you get to the other side. Cool. Once you're here, you want to do the same thing. Come on back, and that is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these in total. Cool. Keep going. Hands down or on your support. Come on across, sit down, sink into it on the other side. Come on back, sit down, sink into it. That's 2. If you realize you can do this without using your hands on the ground or using some hand support, feel free to continue without. You can, of course, keep going with your hand support. Cool? That's 4, I'm pretty sure. If you realize these are easy for you too, and you want to go a little bit harder, you can try your best to sit up a little bit straighter. So far, we've been mostly leaning forward. I want you to sit up real straight. So get your low back to fire and keep going. Across and back. That's 5. Keep going. Across and back. That's 6. At this point, if your knees are feeling a little achy, let's change up the form, ease up the tension on the knee, and let's come up a little bit. Come across, slide, sink down into the ground, then up, across, down. That's 7. Up, across, down, and then up, across, and down. That's 8. We got 2 reps left. These are all optional, by the way. If you were doing the hands down stuff the whole time, it's perfect. Okay? We're going to do some squats. I want you to power through with this leg that's bent. Come on up into standing. Slowly come on back down on the other side. Get low, sink into it. Power through. Boom. That's 9. We got one more. Come on. Come on down. Sink into it. Get low. Power through. Boom. That's 10. Last leg, last squat. And down. And up. That's 10. We just did 10 Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, Cossack squats. And now we are done with our warm up. Hopefully, your heart rate is up. You're starting to break a little bit of a sweat. Your ankle joints, your feet, your knees, your hips have done a lot of movement, and hopefully they're ready for some stretches. All right, we're going to get into our 5 stretches. It is time to continue. What I want you to do is grab a little bit of padding for your knee. Does not have to be fancy. I know I have a lot of padding all over the place. I got a little overexcited because I saw a deal on Facebook Marketplace. It was dumb. But at home, for you guys, you don't need anything fancy. If you have a flip flop, stick it under your knee, perfect. Old sneakers you don't care about, stick it under your knee, perfect. Dirty towel that should be washed with the laundry at some point, roll it up, stick it under your knee. If it don't stink too bad, it's perfect. All right. Once you've got a little bit of padding for that knee, I want you to focus on kneeling super upright. I don't know if there's a proper word for this, but I want your knees to your hips to your shoulders to your head to be in a straight line, straight up. Okay? Don't want too much leaning back or forth or too much bending or even this, where you're basically doing a front split with this back leg going back behind you. All right? Keep it nice and straight. Cool? From here, we're going to extend one leg out in front. We're going to try and maintain that straight line. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you're like 90% there, it's fine. And we're going to get ready to fold our belly buttons down to our thighs. Cool? Fold, 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 fold. Oof, fold, 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 fold some more, fold. Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, you're like, ooh, that's tight. Pause. Inhale and relax. All right, we're gonna take a big breath in, and then relax. Let your body drape over that leg. Woo. One more big inhale. Relax. Man, let your body drape over that leg. Next, we're gonna bend our knees a little. All right, we're gonna add some movement. I want you to bend the knee, bring it up. I want you to bring your chest down to that knee as much as you can. If you can touch the two things together, your chest and your knee together, and you can get this nice and flat, perfect. If you're not quite there just yet, just do your best. And then once you're here, try to keep your chest in the same place and straighten out your leg. Slowly straighten it back out. Then again, knee, chest, straighten. Knee, chest, straighten. Knee, chest, straighten. See how low you can go each time you do this, and see if you can keep your knee from coming up very much and keep your chest low to the ground. Once you've done about 5, we're ready to move on. We're trying to get deeper into our stretch. All right. What we're going to do next is called the inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a big inhale. We're going to slowly exhale that air. And while we're exhaling, we're going to really focus on bringing the belly button down towards the ground. You ready? Let's go. Big inhale. Slowly exhale and fold. Woo. Once you run out of air and you're folding a little bit further, we're going to inhale here for a second. We're going to inhale, relax. Ready? Big breath in. Relax. Let your body drape over that leg. One more. Inhale. Relax. Let your body drape over that leg. And we're going to do the movement. Let's go. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Hopefully, in the second go around, you're noticing that you're able to lift the knee a little bit less. And you're able to bring the chest down much deeper into the ground. And, oh, that feels good. It feels like you're a badass. Because you are. All right? Once you've done about 5 of those, we're going to go a little bit deeper. Once again, we're going to do the big inhale, exhale, and fold. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Woo-hoo. When you're as deep as you can get, we're going to inhale, relax. Inhale, relax. Drape your body over that leg. One more. Inhale, relax. Woo. Sink a little deeper into your stretch if you can. And we're going to add a little bit of movement. Just a couple. You don't have to do all 5. Knee bend, chest down, straighten. Knee bend, chest down, straighten. If you feel like 2 is enough, feel free to stop. If you want to do more, feel free to do a little bit more. And 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27. We're just hanging out here. We're letting gravity do its job and pull you down a little bit deeper. Breathe, relax, chill. 22, 21, 20. If the stretches feel really intense, you can take your fingers, you can stab them into your hamstrings, you can massage them, you can poke them, you can prod them. It doesn't have to have any particular technique. You don't need to know what you're doing. This isn't a real massage. You're just trying to distract your brain from how intense that hamstring stretch is. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That's it. That is our hamstring stretch. Bring your leg in underneath you. Come back into that kneeling position. Kneel, straight. Kneel upright. And for a second, maybe try to clench your booty like you're about to get spanked. Flex those abs like somebody's about to punch you. And feel really strong for a second. That'll help wake up your glute muscles because they were getting that crazy stretching. Sometimes they're feeling really weak when you first come back into your kneeling position. And let's go. It's time to do the other side. Round 2. Bring the other leg out in front. Fold the belly button down to the thigh. Fold. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Once you feel like you're stuck, inhale, relax. Ready? Inhale. Relax. Woo. Let your body drape over that leg. One more. Inhale. Relax. Oh, right. That is some chillin'. We're going to add the movement in. Ready? Let's go. Knee bend, chest down, straighten. Knee bend, chest down, straighten. You might be feeling like one leg is more or less flexible than the other leg right now. All right? That is completely normal. Don't worry about it. It is very, very normal for one leg to, have an old hamstring injury that you pulled when you were like 14 years old and never fully healed up all that right, and now it's a little bit less flexible than the other leg. That's actually 100% completely normal. Okay, so if you're feeling a little bit off, that's normal, and we're gonna keep going. Straighten out that leg. We're gonna get a little bit deeper. Big inhale, exhale, and fold. Ready? Big inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. And once you're stuck, can't go any deeper, let's go. Inhale, relax. One more. Big inhale, relax. Let your body drape over that leg. A little bit more knee bend and straightening. Let's go. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. 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 When you've done about 5 of these, we're going to go a little deeper. Ready? Big inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo. That's it. Inhale, relax. Let your body dribble that leg. One more. Inhale. Relax. Chill. Sink a little deeper if you can. Knee, chest, straighten. Knee up, chest down, straighten. Knee up, chest down, straighten. You don't have to do all 5 if you don't want to. You can just start chilling and hanging out. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. If your knee is getting a little achy, if it's feeling a little sensitive, you can give that leg a slight bend. That's going to take pressure off the knee. It's also going to take pressure off of your hamstring stretch. But you can, just like we were doing with our movement, really focus on bringing your chest down to that thigh and then straighten out the leg. Get that last little bit of stretch afterwards. All right, so you don't put any extra pressure into your knee that you don't need. All right, I don't know where we're at. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Bring your leg in underneath you. Oh, slowly come back into that kneeling straight position. Flex your glutes, flex your abs, stand up nice and straight. Pose, be a Superman action figure for a second. And you can relax now. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. It's called the butterfly stretch. My floors are really slippery, so I like to do this on top of something with a little bit more grip. The foam that I use is a little bit grippier than my floor, so that's what I'm sitting on. If you are at home and you're not slipping around on the floor, you're probably good to continue without the foam. Cool? The second stretch that we're going to do has our butts, our hips, our shoulders, our heads all up against the wall. All right? What I want you to do is get there, feel that nice straight posture in your back for a second, then grab your feet, bring them together, and pull them in towards your groin. All right? This is our starting position. And the goal of this stretch, the butterfly stretch, is to stretch out our groin muscles. The way you do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. I want you to always be using your muscles, getting stronger while you're doing the stretches. So I want you to try your best to use your glutes, your outer thighs to help pull your legs open, bring your knees down towards the ground. All right? Go ahead and get started. If you're new to the show and you're like, what are you talking about? What muscles are those? I have no idea. I've never used those before. Don't worry about the details. Focus on 2 things. 1, the stretch is getting more intense. And 2, if your knees went down a little bit, you're moving in the right direction, and that's all that matters. Cool? All right, next step. We're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure down into the legs, just inside the knees a little bit. And you're going to feel a lot of pressure in the back of your head and your shoulders when you do this. That's okay, that's normal. What we are doing is trying to push our legs down into the ground for the next 30 seconds. All right, 30, 29, 28, 27. Every time you exhale, see if you can push a little bit deeper and see if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. 23, 22, 21, 20. If you are still flexing your muscles real hard, you can relax those muscles and see if you can open up your legs just a little bit wider now that you're not flexing. Because sometimes you're flexing the wrong muscles. Sometimes you're fighting the stretch and you don't even know it. Cool? 15, 14, 13, 12. All right, flex those muscles again. See if you can bring your legs a little bit deeper this time. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our butterfly stretch. Let your hands go. If your wrists are super tired from pushing real hard, you can give them a little flap. If your hips are real tired, I want you to flap those too. All right? Do a little butterfly thing with your legs because this is a butterfly stretch. And when your legs are feeling okay, when they're moving again, we're going to move on into stretch number 3. We're going to do some standing pancakes. All right? Oh, come on up into standing. I'm going to get rid of some of that stuff, and we're going to get into some stretches. What I want you to do is open up your legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you can get to about 60-ish degrees, that's plenty. Cool? From here, we're going to fold. We're going to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. It's going to look like this. As soon as you get stuck, this is your starting position. All right? From the side, it looks a little bit like this. Boom. And what we're going to do is try to get our upper body in between our legs. All right. A more advanced version of the pancake would be like something like this, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, with your back relatively straight. My back was definitely bending. All right. It's a really hard stretch. It is my least favorite stretch. It's also the stretch that I've made the least progress in since I've started this show. And because I dislike it, I probably should spend even more time on it. All right. Where we going with this? To get the most out of this stretch, I want you to really focus on lengthening this lever, right? Your upper body is being pulled down by gravity. The longer your lever, the more extended your arms are, the more intense that stretch is going to feel. If you're holding on to something in your hands, it's going to feel even crazier, and that is going to help bring it a little deeper to the ground. All right? If you're a little bit more advanced and you want to push yourself a little harder, you can choose to open up your stance a little bit wider, go a little bit deeper into the stretch. You can stick your butt back a little bit and fold a little bit more forward and get into a more intense stretch. Cool? That's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. Belly button down to the ground. That's the goal. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Put your hands down on the ground. Bring your legs in. If they're really struggling right now, you can wiggle your toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in, until you're basically standing. Walk your hands up your thighs, come on back into standing, and that is our third stretch. That's a standing pancake. The standing pancake is really challenging for 2 reasons. One, you put a lot of demand into this folding ability into the hamstrings. All right. The other place you're putting a lot of pressure is your inner thighs. The wider your legs go, the longer you hold this position, the more your inner thighs are going to be struggling. And when you combine both those at the same time, the pancake is a stinker. All right. We're going to move on into stretch number 4. We got the option between the figure 4 or the pigeon stretch. If you're regular on the show, feel free to jump into whichever version you prefer. I'm pretty sure we did figure 4 last night, so tonight's a pigeon night. Both stretches have the same fundamentals. All right, we're going to take one leg, we're going to cross it over so that it's resting just above the knee. We're going to grab that ankle, we're going to pull it up to the belly button. We're going to fold the belly button down to the ankle, and we're going to get all compressed and squished like this. All right. When you're here, you should feel a stretch here in the side of that hip. This is a glute muscle. You should also feel something here in your hamstrings, and maybe a little bit of something right here where you're actually doing the folding. All right. Now, all we gotta do is take that position, this one, and replicate it on the floor. All right. Come on down. Ugh. When you are on the ground and this leg is crossed in front of you, I want you to sort of find a midpoint between your knee and your ankle ball. All right. Boom. This is my midpoint right here. I'm also going to get this middle line on my upper body, right? So between my eyes, down to my belly button. Turns out these two lines are pretty close together, which is awesome. So just fold forward and 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 fold forward, and boom, this is a pigeon stretch. Okay? Ta-da! Super straightforward. There are some other options, other ways to make it a little bit more difficult, to combine a couple of other muscles into the pigeon stretch. One of them is what I'll describe in a second. All right? This side leg, you can do whatever you want with. If you want to just leave it off to the side, perfect. If you want to give it a slight bend because it's more comfortable for you that way, awesome. No problem. But there is a version of the pigeon stretch, which some of you might have seen before because you've done some yoga, that looks like this. You get into a position where this back leg is extended behind you. If you try this and you get really uncomfortable because you're feeling that stretch in the hip and then you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure on that knee and that hurts, then you can do a couple of things to make it easier on yourself. The first one is stop trying to stand up so straight, all right? Or lean back so straight. I don't know what this is called. Fold forward a little bit, get into a lazier laying down ish position, and there's going to be way less pressure on this knee, okay? So that's step number one. Number two is elevating the front leg. When you elevate the front leg, you can get the same intensity of stretch in the muscle we care about, that side of the glute, right? Side of the hip, that glute muscle. But when your hips come up, there's way more room underneath you for your leg to come underneath, all right? And you can also probably get your toes down instead of having your knees be the thing that makes contact with the floor. So elevate that front leg, and you're ready to go. Cool. Doesn't have to be a stool. You can use a couch. You can use an ottoman. You can use some yoga blocks. You can use a bed, even as long as it can support your whole entire leg and you can stay balanced. Is good to go. Cool. All right. That's enough explanation. Let's crank out some pigeons and get ready for some side splits. Stretch number 5. All right. Let's go. Leg is across the body. Chest is, we're looking at that middle line between the eyes down to the belly button, right? We're trying to find that midpoint between the knee and the ankle, and we're trying to match all those pieces up. Let's go. Fold, 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 fold. Extend the leg back behind you if you want to, if it feels okay. And I want you to breathe a lot, and I want you to sink a little deeper into your stretch. All right? Inhale. Sink into the ground. Dissolve into the floor. Woo. All right. As you drop deeper into your stretch, we're going to start the countdown. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. I want you to breathe. I want you to relax. I want you to, on every exhale, sink a little deeper into the ground. Let all the air out of your lungs. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon. Hopefully, you're able to chill out. You're able to relax. You're able to let yourself sink into the floor. And then you started feeling all the crazy stretches that came with that. We're going to move on to the other side. Let's go. Other leg is across the body, right? Middle line, midpoint in that leg. Extend the leg back behind you if you want to. Fold forward, stick the hips low, and then fold the chest down towards the leg. Come on down, come on down, come on down, come on down. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, sink into the floor. Turn yourself into jelly. Just melt into the ground. 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep on sinking into the ground. 15, 14, 13. Let the back muscles relax. 12, 11. Let your abs relax. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, that is our pigeon stretch. Hopefully, you felt that stretch happening in the side of the hip and that glute muscle. And We're able to come out of it feeling nice and strong. We are done with 4 of our 5 stretches. We got one last set of stretches left. We're doing some side splits. If you've never done side splits before, don't worry. We're going to break it down into lots of little pieces, and you can stop at any point while we're doing those pieces. And I'll remind you throughout that you can stop anytime. All right? Is there anything else you need to know? We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we put ourselves through every day a little bit more fun, a little bit easier to do, a little bit more enjoyable so that you can actually be consistent with it. All right? If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, make sure to keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that means we started 42 minutes ago, and you can keep coming back 42 minutes ago, but tomorrow and the day after, so that we can practice consistency together. Okay, I ran out of breath on that sentence. Let's move on into our side splits. Cool? Hit follow, hit subscribe. Keep coming back 9 o'clock. Cool. All right, come on back up into standing. First thing I want you to do is go find something to use as hand support. All right, it doesn't have to be crazy. I have a little folding stool. If you have a stool, start with that. If you have yoga blocks, which I also have right next to me because I had clean in this room, that will also work. All right, just find something relatively lightweight, something that's sturdy and stable that you can move around and adjust. All right, once you grab those things, it could also be a coffee table that you just kind of drag close to you. It could be a chair that you just rest your elbows on. It does not have to be so short and low to the ground. Once you've grabbed whatever you're going to use, I want you to get ready to bring your legs wide. But before we do that, I forgot. We got to talk about what we're doing with our butts. I want you to stick your butt to the wall. All right? I want you to have your whole entire body leaning against the wall real quick. And I want you to take half a step forward, just a tiny, tiny, tiny little step in front of the wall, and then we're going to get our legs nice and wide. Cool? From here, if you're feeling immediate discomfort in the hips, stop. You don't have to go any deeper. Bring your legs in a little bit. And if you can do a little tiny shimmy, a little tiny wiggle, your hips are moving okay, there's no pain, we're ready to fold. Bring this belly button down to the ground. If you're able to palm the floor, you might not need any hand support, but for most of us, you're going to want to grab a little bit of something to make it easier on yourself. All right? Put your hands down on whatever you grabbed, and we're going to rest our butt up against the wall. We're going to pull the hand support back, and we're going to slowly open up our legs and see if we can get a little bit lower to the ground. I have way too much foam over here, and it's getting in my way, but I'll have to move it next time. All right. I want you to find a comfortable position. All right. I want your butt resting against the wall. I want your hands on your stool or your wrists, your elbows on the chair, whatever it is that you're using. And I want you to find a comfortable position where you feel like you're in control. All right? The reason why we care about this is because when you feel like you're in control, you're going to be much more likely to relax. Stretching, at least at this stage, is mostly about getting your muscles to not be tense, to relax. And if you feel like you're going to fall, if you feel like you're going to roll backwards, if you feel like you're going to collapse into a little heap on the floor, chances are your muscles are going to recognize that and they're going to be really, 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 really tense, which is not what we want. So find a comfortable, stable position where you feel like you're in control. And I recommend having your butt against the wall, hands on your hand support, legs wide, and find a chilling, comfortable position. All right? From here, we're going to drop a little deeper into the ground. I want you to take a big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and see if you can just sink a little into the floor. Whew. You got a little bit. Great. We're going to do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into the floor. When you sink a little deeper, your shoulders might get a little bit weird and your arms might get a little bit weird because you're sinking lower into the ground and your upper body's getting stuck. You can just bend your elbows. You can shrug your shoulders for now. That's all fine. Cool? All right. From here, we're going to add a little bit more. You can stop anytime, by the way. We're going to lean a little to the right. We're going to lean a little to the left. We're going to lean a little to the right. Lean a little to the left. Lean a little to the right. Lean a little to the left. And see if you can get just a little bit deeper. From here, once you feel like you're about as deep as you can get, we're going to hang out for 30 seconds. That's it. That's the whole thing. If your knees, your toes are pointing straight up, you're in a great position. If your head is pointing up into the ceiling, you're in a great position. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Make sure to breathe. Don't hold your breath. If you feel like it, you can add a little wiggle. See if you can just a little bit deeper. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Oh, 11. Oh, see, this is why we have to get comfortable. My leg slipped. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew, that is it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan. Take your time with this. This does not have to be fast. It just has to be chill. Breathe. Chill. Catch your breath. Relax those muscles. You should have a whole bunch of tension all over your legs. And what we're going to do next is shake it out. We're going to shake out as much tension as we can. We're going to get loose and floppy. And then we're going to get back into side split number 2. All right? Try your best to slowly come on up into standing. Whew. Then take a look at your ankle. Pick any one you want. Give it a light shake. All right? I'm lifting my ankle pretty high up to make sure that if you're watching on mobile, it's appearing above the chat. But you don't have to. You can keep your ankles real low, just slightly off the ground, so you can flop them around and shake them. All right? Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. If you find that it's comfortable, pick up the intensity, shake a little harder, shake a little faster. Go get some crazy range of motion. Get as far left and right as possible. Get forward and back as much as possible, and just flop that leg around. Excuse me. Ooh. Whew. All right. Next leg. Shake, 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 shake some more. Shakety, shake, 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 shake some more. Shake, 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 shakety, shake, 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 shake. And when your legs are feeling a little bit looser, feeling a little bit more chill, feeling a little bit more floppy, we're ready to stop. Take a couple of quick steps, see if your legs are feeling a little bit better compared to when we were struggling to get back into a standing position. And if that seems better, you're probably good to continue into our hip stuff. All right. I want you to put all your weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe of the other leg down, kind of close to the main leg. And I want you to focus on rotating this leg in and out and 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 in and out. If you're brand new to the show, focus on that range of motion. Point that knee directly that way, and then bring it all the way in so the knees are almost touching, and then keep on going back and forth. All right? Build some strength, build some control, build some comfort with this movement, and then you can pick up the speed, pick up the tempo, and go boom, 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 boom. All right, other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're focusing on rotating in and out and in and out and in and out. This rotation is real good for just general hip movement. So having some control there, having some muscles and strength is always going to be useful for you. And once you've done a couple of those, again, you can start going a little bit faster, having a little bit more fun with it. You can treat it like a dance move, have a little tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that your hips are a little bit looser, we're going to get into side split number 2. All right. Give yourself a second. Let the hips relax. And let's put our butts up to the wall. Take half a step forward. Open up the legs nice and wide. Make sure your hips are moving okay. If your hips cannot do little hip circles, you're probably going a little too far. Bring your legs in just a little bit and prepare to fold. Bring that belly button down to the ground. Wee. Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, check. If your hands can reach the floor, you might not need hand support. But for most of us, it'll be much easier if you got a little bit of hand support. All right. It can be a stool. It could be some yoga blocks. It could be a chair. It could be a coffee table. Just anything that you can use to give your hand a little bit of support to help you stay a little bit more upright and chill. All right. Once you have your hand support, we're going to open up our legs a little bit wider. Find a comfortable position. We're going to rotate our legs. We're going to heel down, toe up, knees pointing up. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the previous go around, I realized, because I was distracted telling you about the stool. But what we're doing right now is rotating the thigh bones so they don't smash into your hip bones. Okay? What that means is when we were standing up and we were like, oh, and I was kept on talking about if your hips are hurting, then bring your legs in together. That is basically your thigh bone smashing into your hip bones, right? But if you rotate your leg the right way, that lumpy part of your thigh bone will never smash into your hip bones. And that's what we're doing right here. Our heels are down, our toes up, our knees are pointing up. And our hands are on our hand support, and our butt is against the wall, and we're just going to slowly slide down against the wall, find a comfortable position for us, wherever that may be. And I don't want you to feel like you're falling backwards and the wall is the only thing supporting you. So don't put too much weight into the wall. I want you to almost be leaning forward ever so slightly so that the center of gravity is just over your feet, right? That way you don't slip out from underneath yourself. If that doesn't make sense, just don't lean too far into the wall. All right, get into that comfortable position we were talking about earlier. See if you can get a little bit deeper, and then we're gonna breathe. All right, inhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper. One more, inhale, relax. See if you can sink a little deeper. When I say relax, I'm saying like exhale all the air out of your lungs. Go, and it sounds crazy. It feels weird, but it works. It's like magic. All right. From here, this is all optional, by the way. Add a little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right, little lean to the left, so you can get just a little bit deeper, and whew, we are back in that starting position, or I guess the side split position we were in before. All right, knees and toes are pointing up, heel is pointing up, but we're going to change it up a little bit. This time, we're going to walk our hands forward just a little bit so that our hands are under our shoulders. So it looks like we're about to do a push up. And when we do this, our knees are going to follow us and they're going to be pointing at around like a 45-ish degree angle forward. All right. That's going to emphasize your inner thigh muscles a little bit more in the stretch, and that is what we want. 30 seconds, 29, 28, 27, 26. Feel free to do a wiggle, see if you can get a little bit deeper. 25, 24. You can experiment with flexing your butt muscles, see if you can help open up the legs further. 23, 22, 21. If it ever gets too intense, you can walk your hands back, switch into the version of the stretch that we did a little bit earlier. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in underneath you. Oh, man. Oh, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. That was our second thigh split. Come into some sort of relaxing kneeling position. Chill, breathe, catch your breath. And when you're ready, come back into standing. We're going to shake out our legs. Whew. Slowly come on back up. Shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. Start at the ankle. Go nice and slow. Pick up the intensity as you find it comfortable to do so. And shake, 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 shake. Shake some more. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. See if you can get a little bit more range of motion. Get as wide. Get as long and deep. I don't know. How do you back and forward with your ankle flopping as you can. And if it hurts, you can always dial it back. You don't need it to hurt. We just want it to be relaxed. All right. The reason why we do this is because if your ankles are able to go to crazy places, the muscles that would be holding you back from going to those crazy places have to be relaxed enough to let you go to those crazy places. All right. That's all we care about, relaxation. So shake, 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 flop, 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 wiggle, 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 wiggle. And if your legs are starting to work a little bit better, you can test it by taking a couple of steps. Do a little dance, do a little wiggle, do some salsa steps, and we're ready to move on into our hips. All right. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down on the other. We're going to bring that knee in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Again, if you're a beginner, if you're new to this, focus on that maximum range of motion, building some strength. You should be feeling a whole bunch of muscles, getting a little bit of a workout here in the back of your hip, sort of in your butt, and in the front, right here in the hip. Keep going on the other side. Switch. All your weight on one leg. Big toe is down. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And whew, that is a start. We're going to talk about some extra shaky stuff that you can do. What is the point of all this? We're working on hip mobility so that we can move better. All right. You can immediately put that hip mobility to work with cool things like some stanky leg. All right. If you get nice and strong in that one standing leg, you extend that other leg out to the side and just go gracefully pull that leg in. This is some stanky leg. All right. Boom. Stanky leg. Just play around, have fun. You're building hip mobility for a reason, and you can put it to use right away, and you can make it fun for yourself. All right. If you do some circles, you do a stanky leg, pull it in. You open up that leg, point the knee back out, and then you slide that leg back out. Then you've got a cool little movement that you can break out on the dance floor tonight, tomorrow night, the day after. All those nights of the week that you can go hang out. Cool. All right. Hopefully, now you got some cool things to use this muscles for. We're ready to get back into some side splits. Those sentences have nothing to do with each other. We're going to put our butt up against the wall, take half a step forward. We're going to open up our legs, make sure our hips don't hurt, do a little hip wiggle, and we're going to get ready to fold. All right? Belly button to the ground. As soon as your hands touch the ground, see if you can palm it. If you can palm it, you don't need hand support necessarily, but for the most part, most of us will enjoy a little bit of support. All right, so grab a stool, grab a coffee table, grab a chair, grab a yoga block, whatever it is, and put your hands down on it. Help support some of your body weight. Open up your legs a little bit wider. Rest your butt against the wall. Find a nice, stable, comfortable position, and let's get ready to externally rotate the legs. All right. When I say externally rotate, what I mean is we're rotating this leg back 90 degrees. So right now the knees are kind of pointing forward, the toes are kind of pointing forward. We're going boom, heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. Other side, heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. Now find your hand support. Let your butt rest against the wall. Let it slide down the wall. Slowly adjust. Come on down. Find a comfortable spot where you feel like you're in control, because control is how you're going to feel like you can relax. Right? If you're feeling like you're wobbly, if you feel like you're leaning, if you feel like you're about to fall apart, that is not going to help you relax. Cool? Once you have found some stability, some comfort, make sure you're really, really ready. Do a little wiggle, do a little shimmy, see if you're still in a comfortable position, and we're going to drop. Let's go. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into the floor. Let's go. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into the floor. Add a little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right, little lean to the left. I say that fast because there's lots of words there. You don't have to actually move that fast, all right? And that's it. When you're as deep as you can get, we're ready for our third and final side split. If you want to stay in this original position where our knees or toes are pointing up, our head is pointing up, you're feeling more of a stretch in your hamstrings, perfect, stay here. If you want to go back to the second version we did where you're feeling it more in your inner thighs, awesome, do that. When you're ready, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. In the version of the stretch where your hands are forward, you might feel a little bit less intensity in that inner thigh. All right. I want you to try to bend your elbows, let your chest come down, and suddenly I think you'll notice that that stretch gets way more intense in the inner thighs. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your knees in underneath you. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Take your time. We've done all the hard stuff. That was our third and final round of side splits. Kneel, breathe, catch your breath, and when you're ready, let's get into some leg shakes. Come on back up into standing. Shake, 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 shakety, shake, 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 shake some more. Shake, 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 and drop the leg. Other side. Shake, 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 shakety, shake, shake, shake. The more you shake, as in over the course of several weeks, the faster your brain will let you relax. All right, it's a skill. So as you shake more and more often, your brain will suddenly realize, oh, hey, this is what we want. And you'll train your brain just like you would a pet dog, and it will start learning to relax on command. Cool? Next, we're going to move up into our hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're doing the in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Hopefully, you are feeling more comfortable with that bring the knee in and out thing. You don't have to focus so much on that pure form of all perfect range of motion. You can turn into a little bit more of a dance move. You can have fun with it. You can do the stanky leg. You can get into something a little bit more shaky. All right? And by shaky, I mean like shaky in a fun way, not shaky because you're unstable. We're going to add another final thing about the leg shake right now. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is kind of off to the side in a straight-ish leg. All right, the leg is slightly bent. And what we're gonna do is have almost no weight in this leg. We're gonna rotate in, out, 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 in, out. This is a good start. But when there's no weight in this leg, your thigh muscles are not going to work very hard. They should be nice and soft, right? You can poke them to double check. When they are nice and soft, you can do a little trick where if you shake out your leg real hard, your thighs are going to go flopping all over the place and they're going to look like they're made of jello. All right? That is a good sign that you're shaking real good and your muscles are relaxed. So let's do that again on the other side. All your weight is down on one leg. Big toe ish, kind of extended off to the side. There's a slight bend in that leg. It's not perfectly straight. We're going to start rotating real fast. Fast, 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 fast. But we're not going very far. We're just going back and forth like a little flop thing. And if your thighs are loose, if your thighs are relaxed, they will start turning into something that looks like jello, that look like they're just vibrating, and they'll be like, and chances are your thighs are going to be super relaxed. So now that we have relaxed all those muscles, let's get ready to wrap up our show with some joint checks. All right, we're going to do some slow hip circles. Come on through some extreme range of motion. Ooh, really sink into that hip. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Come on back, other side. All right. Ooh. Keep on going. Do a couple more rotations. If you have done a bunch in one direction, feel free to go the other way. After the side splits, I tend to feel it a lot in the left and right side of the hip, so I like to super exaggerate and hang out deep in that stretch. If you are feeling the same way, feel free to hang out there. If not, you can do whatever you want. Next, we're going to lift our knees to do a quick knee raise. If they come up, we're ready to move on. We're going to wrap up with a couple of calf raises from a squatting position, all right? I want you to have your feet so that they're right underneath your hips, nice and square. Cool? Not super wide, not super narrow, just right underneath your hips. From here, we're going to pop into a little bit of a squat. What I want you to do in this squat looks a little bit like this. I want your chest to kind of be shooting as far forward as you can, all right? I want your knees to be over your toes as far forward as you can as well. I want it to almost feel like you're about to topple over, okay? When you feel that way, your toes are going to kick in. They're going to grip the floor, and the arch of your foot is going to try and stay super stable to help your toes grip the floor. And that is the sensation we want. We want that to be happening. Your Achilles tendon, your calves should be in a nice deep stretch. You can poke them, double check. Your quads are firing because they don't like you. Your low back is probably also firing because it's just trying to keep you stable. Those are all good things. We want those. Stick your hands down. Let's do some calf raises. Bring those heels up. Come on down. Come on up, come on down. If you don't need your hands for support, feel free to skip it. But do double check that your knees are really leaning forward, that you're in that crazy position. Keep on doing a couple of calf raises. We're making these a super crazy movement. No easy calf raises here. And once you have done a couple of those, we're probably ready to wrap. All right. I believe there's some sort of flying bug, so I'm handing off an electric fly swatter thing. I don't know what's going on. Okay, continuing. Oh, I gotta solve a puzzle over on TikTok first before it kicks me out for thinking I'm a robot. And now we're ready. What do we cover? We just did some crazy calf raises. All right. In those calf raises, we had our knees over our toes, and we had that crazy Achilles tendon. Oh, you can't even see me. What am I doing? We had our knees over our toes. So we had this crazy Achilles tendon stretch, crazy calf stretch. And then when we came into the calf raise, we had all those muscles working super hard to help lift us off the ground, right? Our quads were quietly, or maybe not quietly, super angry at us for holding that crazy position for so long. Our low back, because our back was like this, was firing to hold us and keep us stable. And our feet, because we were leaning so far forward, our toes were clenching into the ground to try and keep us from toppling over, right? So we had our toes, our arch of the foot, we had the calves, the quads, the hips, the low back, all working really hard. And we got all those joints to work together with them. And chances are, if you're able to do all those things, you're probably ready to go back to doing whatever you have to do for the rest of the day because your joints are doing pretty good. Cool. All right. That's it. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. We have just wrapped another 65-ish minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that means we started an hour and 7 minutes ago if you're not in the Eastern time zone. If you like the live, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. Cool. I make some other content, by the way. Most of it is not side split related at all. And most of it is about adding a little bit of fitness, a little bit of movement into your daily life. So if you got 2 minutes while you're waiting for your coffee to come out the little machine, while you're waiting for the microwave to heat up your lunch, while you're waiting for anything else to happen in your life, those 2 minutes are perfect little opportunities for you to get a little bit of exercise. All right. If you could do squats for 2 minutes straight, that would be insane. It'd be a lot of squats. If you could do basically any exercise for 2 minutes straight, it would be a lot. So don't sleep on those 2 minutes. They do count. They do matter. And if you get a little bit in, your joints will really like you for it. All right. Your joints, your knees, your hips, all those things that people tend to complain about, they heal when they get nutrients. All right. But they only get nutrients when you move your joints. If you are babying your knee after a knee injury, your knee is feeling achy and you're just not doing anything with your knee at all, it's going to be really hard for nutrients to cycle through, for waste to leave. All right. That is because the way your knees, your joints typically get nutrients is through something called synovial fluid. And it is not through blood vessels like our muscles. All right. Our tendons also don't have blood vessels, so they also don't get nutrients. They also require a whole bunch of movement in order to get nutrients that way. But that is why it's super important to get some light exercise when you can, add in a little bit of movement when you can, so that you can take care of your joints. You can help them to have their best shot of recovering, best shot of reducing waste buildup and whatever else is going on when you move. Cool? Cool. Chevelle says, thank you, Ken. Good night. Thank you, Chevelle. Thank you for being here. Chase sent an awesome, lovely emoji. So Helia says, thanks, Ken. And I'm going to check out the chat. User friendly on 3 says glute stretch. We don't typically do very many glute stretches on the show, but you can do a whole bunch. My favorite one looks a little like this. Sorry, I have to clear the floor of all these things. My favorite one looks a little like this. You sit down with your legs in front of you. You cross your leg like so over the other leg. Stick your elbow into the bent legs, like behind the knee, and you sort of, actually, what am I talking about? It's this one. You pull the leg in to your chest. You kind of get it a little bit when you're doing this, but it feels like more of a spine thing than it does a glute thing. And this is very similar to the pigeon stretch. You might want to play around with the angle a little bit. I feel it the most when I pull the knee in towards me, and I get that rotating towards my chest. And that is my preferred glute stretch, but is basically a different variation of the pigeon. The pigeon is basically just this, right? Cool. Whew. All right. Ugh. What else we got? I'm gonna check out YouTube real quick. Busra Neuralmaz 1087 says, "What are you teaching? Is that yoga?" I am not doing yoga. I don't know if you're still on the live, but we do a follow along hip mobility and side splits workout, and we do this every single day. I make some other content around fitness in general, but most of the time it is this live is about side splits and hip mobility. Keisha is back. Good evening. Late start tonight. Work sucks. So I'm happy to be here to stretch out my problems. Amazing. I'm glad you're here. I hope you were able to stretch out some problems. I think I saw your message when it came in. That was pretty late. So I hope you had enough time to stretch out your problems. But it's good to see you. Welcome back. Happy Friday evening. I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. All right. I'm gonna scroll over back onto TikTok and see what we got. Luigi says thanks, Ken. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Che sends awesome emojis. I'm gonna just double check for questions and comments because I don't usually look at them during the live because I want to get through as much of my talky, splitty, stretchy stuff as possible so that our regulars who are here practicing consistency, who know the show really well, can get through the show as fast as possible, and then I do the Q&A at the end. Che has said he does Q&A at the end to Ladan. So let's see, what has Ladan said? Ladan says, can I do this before my gym workout? You can, but I don't know if I would recommend it. So when you do a lot of intense passive stretching, it tends to have no. If you're like waiting 10, 20 minutes before you actually go to the gym, you'll be fine. Um, Shortly after you do some passive stretching, sometimes your maximum strength output is going to be a little bit diminished, and that will impact your gym session. So if you do this right before your workout, it's probably not that recommended. You probably are better off doing a more general warm up for your workout. And then if you feel like it afterwards, you can do the stretch. But this show is like an hour long. So you probably want to just pick and choose a couple of the exercises that we have done, have demonstrated, and integrate that into your workout. Because if you're able to time your workout into this or that, however that works, it's going to be a really long day for it. All right. So you can stretch. Typically, stretching right before your workout is going to, in the short term, the first couple of minutes, diminish some of your strength output. So you won't get as much strength in your next couple of reps. And that might make your workout a little bit funky if you're very strict about your workout. Um, yeah, that's it. Cool. Chase says, yes, with the smiley face. Passion Flora says, can I start whenever? Yes, you definitely can. We go through a long list of exercises to slowly warm up to get everybody ready, and some of it is just genuinely good for all the time, right? The first thing we start with is called hip cars. So if you came in absolutely cold, we're working on lifting the knee high. We're working on opening up that leg to the side. We're working on rotating the leg, rotating the leg, rotating the leg, rotating the leg, and bring the leg down and back. That is going to be really good for you in general. It's not essential to any of the stretches. Um, we do a couple of extra warm up exercises. I'm pretty sure this comment came in pretty late when we were already in our stretches. Um, you can always start the stretches. I like to warm up the body and make sure everybody is warmed up together. If you start at the beginning of the live, because that's going to help you have better results, right? But if you're just jumping in, you're going to learn a couple of moves. You're trying it, seeing how you like, my personality when I tell you things. Then you can jump in anytime, and it might not be the most effective version of that stretch, but that's okay. It's not a big deal because what matters most is that you're building a little bit of consistency. You're finding moves that you like. You're finding opportunities to get a little bit of exercise, and that is way more important than starting at the beginning and doing the whole thing. Cool. All right. What else we got? I'm gonna scroll. V. Roy Watkins says me. I don't know what that means. We got sent a whole bunch of flowers from Fun M 2025. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we got blessings and awesomes from somebody named Lion. Caro says I'm at the park trying to exercise. It is really impressive when people exercise at the park. I have done a whole bunch of these lives in parks, at the airport, at a train station, and it is the most nerve-wracking thing. I try to go find like a really weird, sketchy corner where nobody would actually go to normally to go do the lives. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. It's just sketchy for like the 3 seconds that I'm looking for it, and then after that, it's a totally normal corner, and then a whole bunch of people come through, and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? But I'm really impressed with people who can live stream in public. That's crazy. I made so much eye contact, so much embarrassing eye contact. I couldn't. I was like, just look down, Ken. Just look down. uh, Park exercise is really nice. I hope you're enjoying the nice weather. I hope you're enjoying your Friday evening, and I hope you got a great workout in. Katie says the spine crusher. I don't even know what we were doing. Maybe it was the hamstring stretch because that puts a bit into your spine. What else we got? Grace says hi. And I'm looking for more questions, more comments, see if there's anything else I can help answer. Alex says, nice haircut, Ken. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chevelle says, hey, everyone. Oh, okay. I think I'm at the top. I think I'm out of chat. Chase says, hello. All right. Scrolling all the way back down. It says there's 16 new messages since I started talking. So I'm going to review. Chevelle says, good night. Principita says, thank you. Exalt says, thank you. True Blue says, good night, everyone. See you in the morning. Yes. Oh, right. There is another live in the morning. We have other lives that we do. Saturday and Sunday mornings, we have a 9 a.m. live. That is in 10 hours and 43 minutes. Usually, we do side splits and hip mobility. So the same live that we are doing right now. I might change that up. I'm not 100% sure. Haven't really thought it through because I kind of forgot it was already Friday. But come anyway, and we'll see if there's anything to change, or if there's anything that's changed, and we start doing something different. Maybe because we do a lot of hip mobility and side splits, we'll start doing some like exercise for like, I don't know, the upper body or like the abs or something, and we'll make it a shorter, more condensed 20, 30-minute version show. I don't know. But come back tomorrow and we'll talk about it. Cool? All right. Gigi says, I'm about to have a knee replacement. What's the best exercise to do to get my legs strong enough? I honestly don't know very much about that in general. But there is a dude on the internet. His name is Knees Over Toes Guy on YouTube. It's the Knees Over Toes Guy, all one word. If you Google knees over toes, he'll show up. I'm pretty sure. His name is Ben Patrick. He did have a knee replacement, I think, in his like teenage years or something, and he has built his whole entire like last decade or two on helping people get really, 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 really strong knees. You should check out his stuff. His free stuff is really good. He has a couple of videos that are like, these are the exercises that I do all the time. And if you just pick out a couple of those for the knee, that will probably be really good. His main thing is getting your knee to its maximum range of motion in a comfortable way and then building up strength, right? So the maximum range of motion would be bring your ankle up to your butt cheek, basically, right? So something like this, where your calves are touching your thighs, and then trying to power through until your leg is fully extended. The main move that he talks about for that is called the ATG split squat. It looks a little bit like this. For most people, you're going to have to elevate your front foot. You're going to have to push your knees over your toes. You're going to have your thighs try to come down to the calf, right? This is where the higher the thing you're doing it on, this is going to be silly. I'm going to mess up. The higher you do this move on, the easier it will be to bring your calves and your knees, or your calves and your thighs together, all right? The lower you are to the ground, the more flexibility it demands, and the harder it is going to be for your calf and your thigh to touch together, right? So, when in doubt, elevate, and that will make things easier. But the ATG split squat basically looks like this. You elevate a foot, you lean deep into that stretch. I'm out of shot. Hold on. Let me try that again. Boom. And you basically stick the other leg back. You do a couple of up and downs, right? You do some squats without moving that back leg. This forces you to slowly build up strength, build up control in the full range of motion in the knee, and that's his bread and butter. The rest of his moves are around strengthening muscles around the knee, below and above, so that you get really strong muscle support to help keep your knee stabilized, to help support you so that your knee bones don't, or I guess your leg bones don't smash together and cause you knee pain. check out Knees Over Toes guy, and I hope that helps. Cool. What else we got? JG says, GG says, I'll look him up. Awesome. Amazing. And JG says, I need ankle mobility. Okay. Ankle mobility. Ankle mobility. There's a lot of little things you can start doing for ankle mobility. The first thing I recommend is building strength and flexibility at the same time. All right. You can also go to Knees Over Toes guy for a little bit more of that content because he does a lot with calf raises. But I'll talk about some calf raises that you can do. All right. Ankle stability happens in a lot of different places, right? There's like you can roll your ankle this way, you can roll your ankle that way, you can fumble and trip forward like that, right? Your ankle is a very mobile joint, so you can rotate your foot all these different places. You can work on building up ankle strength in a whole bunch of different ways. One of them will be just doing some basic calf raises, right? Come on up, come on down, come on up, come on down. When you get really comfortable with those, you can elevate the front of your feet so that you get into a calf stretch, and then you can come on up, come on down, come on up, come on down. I'm holding onto the wall for balance, all right? I'm not magic because this foam is super squishy. But when you work on the range of motion and you build strength at the same time, that is going to help you build control and it's going to help you increase your ankle mobility a little bit faster. Um, if you're a normal person and you just need ankle mobility to move better in regular life, these will apply. If you're like an athlete and trying to build more ankle mobility, I don't know. That's way too specific. All right, I don't get any information for you. But um, you can hang out in a whole bunch of different positions and slowly get a little bit stronger, right? If you imagine that you're putting all the weight on the sides of your feet, if you do these types of calf raises, they're not calf raises, I don't know what these are called, intentionally rolling your ankles until they get super strong, that is going to be super helpful, right? If you do a whole bunch of ankle circles, that is going to help your muscles learn how to control into these deeper positions. You don't have to do it with just lifting your toes and foot using your muscles. You can plant your toes into the ground. You can sort of use that to move the rest of your leg and get your leg through that full range of motion at the ankle. Um, that will help the joint get those reps in. It will help the muscles to relax a little bit, and it will potentially help you a little bit with that ankle mobility. There are some other things that you can be doing. There's an exercise called the tibialis raise. It kind of looks like this. You lean your butt against the wall, and then you flex the toes up to the knees. It's called dorsiflexion. You lift the toes up into the air, and you slowly drop down. That is also heavily ankle related. It's a lot of other muscles, but it's kind of related to your ankle. But you can drop down at an angle. You don't have to drop straight down. You can go roll it out onto the sides, onto the inside, onto the outside, onto the inside, onto the outside of your foot. And if you do a couple of those, your ankles will get really tired really fast. So you should absolutely try that and see if that helps build some strength, helps build some mobility. Cool? All right. Josh says, hey, Ken. Hey, Josh. Thank you for coming back. Good to see you. And JG says, thanks, man. You're welcome. I hope that's helpful. And I hope your ankles get strong and you never roll them ever again, because that's always a nice perk of training your ankles. All right. We are 84 ish minutes deep into the live. There's still, there's a handful of people left. There's like 20 something people left. If you got any other questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer. If I don't have good answers, I'll send you to somebody else who does, at least, if I know them, internet know them, know of them, seen some videos that they've posted. And that's it. We have another live in 10 hours and 30 minutes, so 10 and a half hours. Feel free to come back to that. I don't know if it's going to be our regular standard size splits live or if it's going to be something else. I make other content. It's not so side splitsy. It's about getting a little bit of fitness into your life, finding your home as a creative place to get cool exercises done, so that you can get some exercise anywhere. All right, so that you don't have to feel like, oh no, I have to go all the way to the gym so that I can work on my thing. For most of us, like 90% of the population, getting a little bit of exercise with whatever you have at home is going to be way better than not getting any exercise at all. Cool. Lay Ravenwood says, will that exercise help with bone pain in the top of my foot? Bone pain in the top of my foot. That's that is way outside my level of expertise. So I don't know. Um, yeah, the answer is I don't know. Jose says, nice haircut. Oh, thank you. JG says, any advice for plantar fasciitis? The first thing is make sure you do have plantar fasciitis because there's a whole bunch of other things going wrong with the foot that people all call plantar fasciitis. I'm pretty sure plantar fasciitis, I don't have plantar fasciitis and I haven't studied it particularly, so I don't know if this is true, but I am pretty sure plantar fasciitis is like right here on the foot, like basically at the heel of the foot, just inside a little bit. So if you're hurting anywhere else, that's got another name. Do I know anything else about this? No, I got nothing else to offer on this topic. You're gonna have to find somebody with more expertise. So I got nothing. But there's a whole bunch of different places where people often have discomfort in the foot, and you should definitely make sure that what you have is actually plantar fasciitis. Because if you just start googling stuff related to that thing, and you start doing those things, and you don't feel any relief, you might be like, wait, it doesn't work. But maybe you don't have that thing to begin with, and there's just lots of other points in your foot that could be hurting. All right. So double check where your pain, where your discomfort is. Go find somebody with real foot expertise to tell you what specifically is that thing, and then hopefully that person will also have better advice. I don't. uh, Mimi says, "What about bursitis?" I got no idea. You guys are way deep out of my ability, so I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked for more questions. All of them were stuff I can't answer. Okay. All right. I think that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. I will see you in a little bit, and if not tomorrow morning, because it's intense, I'll be back another like 12 hours after that at 9 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, definitely doing some more size plays. So go ahead and check that out tomorrow. Schedule it in your calendar. I'm talking real slow because JG wrote wait in all caps in the chat, and so I'm trying to slow down to. It'd be amazing if JG was like, wait, that's what plantar fasciitis is, and I don't have it at all, because that would be like I said something useful, not just I have no idea. but 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 I'm waiting, and I'm not seeing an update. Oh, JG says I did say great advice. Thanks. Okay, awesome, great. All right, peace out. Goodbye. Go have a wonderful rest of your weekend, or I guess the beginning of your about to be weekend. And if I see you, I see you. If I don't, that's okay. Remember, we're here to practice consistency, but my consistency is not the level I expect you to show up at. Okay, you can show up at 4 times a week, 5 times a week. It's still perfectly good consistency. Cool, cool. Mimi says thank you. JG says, oh, but I struggle to squat parallel and need advice. Um, oof. Okay, squatting is a really complex movement. All right, there's a whole bunch of reasons why you not might not be able to go parallel. And when you say parallel, I imagine you're saying having your thighs go parallel to the floor. Um, One of them might be you're not bringing your knees forward enough. And if your center of gravity is really far back, you're just going to fall on your butt, right? So that's something you might want to explore, seeing if you can bring your knees a little bit more forward into the toes area. You don't have to go super deep, but a little bit, right? Like the angle, or the, can you even see? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. I have a stool right here. It's not in the shot of the camera, but I was like, wait, is the stool blocking the ankle? If you look at this angle right here, right, from the ankle up to the knee, just by having a little bit more mobility in the ankle, bring the knee forward or back, you can get your hips to shift way far forward, right? While maintaining the same angle from your hips up to wherever I was not or was moving. And so just this forward motion can be a huge contributor for you to get parallel. Um, the for most people, you're probably leaning way far forward and not standing super far back. But I don't know, maybe you're super upright like this, and that is making it hard for you to hang out and get to parallel. What else can you do? You can make it a lot easier on yourself and build up that range slowly, right? One of the things you could be doing is doing wall squats, right? It'll take you a lot longer to get super tired, but that's okay because you're just trying to build up tolerance. You're trying to build up ability. You can just hang out against the wall. Let the wall do all the corrective stuff. Let the wall do all the focusing so that you can slowly find comfortable positions and get lower to the ground. Um, when you want to work harder and you're like, I need to get myself a little bit more, you can literally just, man, I wish I had an easier way to demonstrate this. You can literally just push your hands against the wall a little bit and reduce the amount of support that you're getting from the wall. All right. You can just hold yourself further away from the wall by extending your arms out. And that will help you start using more muscles, activating more muscles while trying to get closer down to that parallel position. If you want, you can do this in a whole variety of ways. You can hold on to like a door frame, right? The edge of a door frame. You can just experiment with holding on to it, slowly come on down, find the angles that you want to get to. You just need to pull on a little bit to help you from leaning forward and back, right? You don't have to use that much weight. You can use a stool underneath you. You can use any number of things to slowly help you drop a little bit lower and experiment with. Wow, I'm super out of breath. Kenny says, I just joined without any context. Somebody asked about squats and how to get a little bit lower. And yeah, I guess that does look really weird. Where am I going with this? Hopefully, working on really easy ways to drop your hips a little bit lower is going to help you slowly build up some understanding in that position and what it requires. And then you can slowly reduce the amount of help and reduce the amount of support that you're getting by moving away from the wall, by holding on to something else so that you can still maintain kind of questionably that position, but a little bit more easily ish. JG says, awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Okay, awesome. Great. I'm glad my haphazard explanation was useful. Cool. All right. Now we're officially done. Candy, I hope you enjoyed the really weird squatting explanation with awkward gestures, and I hope to see you all real soon. I've said this a bunch of times. Hit follow, hit subscribe. We're back every single day practicing consistency at 9 p.m. Cool? Cool. Bye.